Ryan Reynolds here from Mint Mobile. With the price of just about everything going up during inflation, we thought we'd bring our prices down. So to help us, we brought in a reverse auctioneer, which is apparently a thing.
Mint Mobile Unlimited Premium Wireless. How to get 30, 30, bit to get 30, bit to get 20, 20, 20, bit to get 20, 20, bit to get 15, 15, 15, 15, just $15 a month? Sold!
Give it a try at mintmobile.com/switch.
$45 up front for 3 months plus taxes and fees. Promo rate for new customers for limited time. Unlimited more than 40 gigabytes per month. Slows full terms at mintmobile.com.
On today's Smart 7, Tories in trouble over election betting, post office data breach sparks fresh apology, and lots more. It's Friday, 21st of June. It's Take Your Dog to Work Day, and happy birthday, Lana Del Rey.
The Smart 7. It's news, but not the news.
It's fair to say that this election campaign hasn't exactly been a success so far for Prime Minister Rishi Sunak. He started by calling a snap election in the pouring rain, stumbled over D-Day, and now finds himself in the middle of an investigation by the Gambling Commission. It appears that a number of senior Tory figures placed bets on the date of the election before Rishi's rain-soaked announcement, and the inquiry has now seen the director of the Tory campaign temporarily step down from his role. Labour leader Sir Keir Starmer says he would not tolerate similar behaviour from his team.
This candidate should be suspended, and it's very telling that Rishi Sunak has not already done that. If it was one of my candidates, they'd be gone and their feet would not have touched the floor.
Levelling Up Secretary and soon-to-be former MP, Michael Gove was doing his best to defend his colleagues in this peculiar situation.
Odd things happen in campaigns. There are very human lapses by individuals. Let the process take its course, and then in the fullness of time, hope that they can find forgiveness.
A string of polls this week suggest that the Tories are now facing a potentially historic wipeout on election day, which is less than 2 weeks from now. One poll from The Telegraph saw a projection of over 500 seats for Labour and as few as 53 for the Tories. That poll also suggested that Rishi Sunak could lose his own seat. Professor John Curtis was pulling no punches in his analysis on BBC Radio 4.
In terms of vote share, the Conservatives are at the moment heading for their worst performance since the First World War, since the advent of the mass franchise by a country mile. Not even the More in Common poll suggests they're going to quite reach their lowest ever number of seats in the House of Commons, which is 156 all the way back in 1906.
Former Tory MP Sir Charles Walker says with 2 weeks to go, there's still plenty of time for the Tory campaign to turn things around.
I thought we would be performing better this far into the campaign. I really did. I thought that the gap would be closing. I still think the gap will close. You have to be in it to win it because we have thousands of activists knocking on doors, and it would be wrong of me to say, well, it's all over.
The Post Office had to make a fresh apology to sub-postmasters on Thursday after it emerged that a data leak had exposed the names and addresses of the 555 people it had pursued during the Horizon IT scandal. The data was shared in a document on their website, and they both apologised and reported the breach to the Information Commissioner. It wasn't a good day for the Post Office as the inquiry continues after a week of testimony from forensic accountants. Thursday saw a Post Office investigator, Graham Ward, recalled to go through his testimony in more detail after it emerged that he deleted a key phrase from an expert witness's testimony in a case that saw a sub-postmaster convicted. He was put under serious pressure by the newly crowned Barrister of the Year, Jason Beer KC.
In what way is reviewing a statement consistent with putting a line through something and deleting it?
I can't explain that. I really can't. But my intention was absolutely not to have anything deleted from that statement that Mr. Jenkins wasn't happy with at all.
Former Dutch Prime Minister Mark Rutte now looks certain to be the next Secretary-General of NATO. Already this week, the Hungarian leader Viktor Orban withdrew his objection to Rutte's candidacy, and now Romanian President Klaus Iohannis, who was in the running for the position, has withdrawn his bid. That should see NATO allies formally approve the appointment next week, and outgoing Secretary-General Stoltenberg is expected to step down in the autumn. He's been busy this week meeting US President Biden and coordinating NATO's response to the new strategic defence pact between Russia and North Korea.
We are very deeply concerned about the possibility of also Russia now providing support for their nuclear and missile programs. When they are more and more aligned, then it's even more important that we are aligned as countries believing in freedom and democracy.
Still to come on the Smart 7, England stumbled to a draw against Denmark and Hollywood says farewell to a legend. Right after this.
Hey, I'm Ryan Reynolds. Recently, I asked Mint Mobile's legal team if big wireless companies are allowed to raise prices due to inflation. They said yes. And then when I asked if raising prices technically violates those onerous two-year contracts, they said, "What the f*** are you talking about, you insane Hollywood ass?" So to recap, we're cutting the price of Mint Unlimited from $30 a month to just $15 a month. Give it a try at mintmobile.com/switch.
$45 up front for 3 months plus taxes and fees. Promo rate for new customers for limited time. Unlimited more than 40 gigabytes per month. Slows full terms at mintmobile.com.
Welcome back.
There were 3 games in the Euros on Thursday. Slovenia drew 1-1 with Serbia, Spain won 1-0 against Italy, and England took on Denmark. After a win in their opening game, Gareth Southgate's men were hoping to get a second win under their belt and get qualification for the second round locked down. Things didn't go to plan, though, with an early Harry Kane goal cancelled out by a brilliant strike from Morten Hjulmand. The game ended in a 1-1 draw, which sees England on top of the group with 4 points and a game against Slovenia to come on Tuesday. Southgate wasn't sounding too happy with his team's performance so far.
We know the level has to be higher. We know the level can be higher. Maybe the biggest thing is we have to accept the environment that we're in and the expectations that are around us. And we're going to have to walk towards that challenge. At the moment, we're falling a little bit short of that.
If you're a fan of the Quiet Place series of movies, you'll know there's a new one on the way. This time it's a prequel called A Quiet Place Day One. It stars Joseph Quinn and Lupita Nyong'o, and she is also the star of the new animated movie Wild Robot. That role really strained her vocal cords, so much so that she got a polyp and had to go on vocal rest for almost 3 months to avoid surgery. The only problem is that her vocal rest coincided with Taylor Swift's Eras tour.
I got a vocal polyp, and I was on vocal rest for 3 months.
And you had to wear a note that said, "I am on a vocal rest."
Yeah. I made that at home. Because sometimes fans thought I was being rude because I wouldn't say anything. I'd just be like... So then I just thought, okay, let me let people know what's going on, and that way they'll have sympathy for me instead of hatred.
The actor Donald Sutherland has died at age 88 after a long illness. The Canadian star won an Emmy and 2 Golden Globes in a long career, but was never nominated for an Oscar. He had a habit of choosing unusual and distinctive roles in what he called his meandering little career, but he was much loved for his appearances in movies such as MASH and Mr. Bennett in the 2005 version of Pride and Prejudice. His son Kiefer Sutherland was among those to pay tribute to a man he called one of the most important actors in the history of film. Donald was a passionate anti-war campaigner and took his recurring role in the Hunger Games in part to help wake a new generation to activism. Rest in peace, Donald.
Young people have to get out. You have to get out and change things. You really do. And it's up to you. We've wrecked this world, and if you're going to fix it, you got to do it now.
You've been listening to The Smart 7. We'll be back tomorrow at 7 a.m. Hit that follow button and have a great day. Give us 7 minutes, and we'll give you the world.
Whether you're a morning person or a bedtime procrastinator, everyone deserves a mattress that works for their style. And you'll find the best mattress for you at Ashley. The new Temper-Adapt collection at Ashley brings you one-of-a-kind body-conforming technology, making every sleep tailored to be your best. The collection also features cool-to-the-touch covers and motion absorption to help minimize sleep disruptions from partners, pets, or kids. Shop the all-new Temper-Adapt collection at Ashley, in-store or online at ashley.com. Ashley, for the love of home.